Let's make a new fence for our new table saw. Hey, it's Jim from the Woodworking Corner. This was my old jig that I made for my fence for my old table saw. It actually happens to fit this one too, but I only used this for when I was cutting longer panels, so I'd have more surface area for the wood. But I want to build one today that I can keep on there all the time. So I want to make it a little bit nicer, a little bit taller, make an L fence for it too. That's the plan for today. So I actually bought this piece of melamine a while ago to use for a different project. So between this and this other piece of plywood that I have, I think we can make ourselves a nice table saw fence jig. Here I begin to rip down the 3 boards that'll make up the main part of this jig. Now I need to get the height set for the backboard of the jig. I do add 1/8 of an inch to the height to ensure that the jig is seated on the table. Here is a debut for my newly built crosscut sled. You can't tell, but I'm excited to use it in this project. I wanted to make the overall length of the jig 29 inches. I figured it would be nice to have some extra fence before and after the saw blade. Now I rip the backboard for the jig. Before I take a measurement for the top piece, I am adding a couple of pieces of tape to each side of the fence. This will add just enough to the width so that the jig will have a snug fit, but not too snug of a fit, if you know what I mean. Now I can clamp the front and back boards to the fence so I can get a measurement. Next, I remove the tape so I can cut the top board. Okay, that was a last minute design change. I opted not to use the melamine, and to go with plywood so I can keep the whole thing all in plywood. It'll be easier for the glue up, as well as I want to give a rounded edge over here. And if I do that to the melamine, it's going to be a rough go. These are the 3 pieces that I'll make the first part of the fence. I got all 3 parts cut. I think it was a better idea to use plywood than the melamine for this part. I think the glue up will go a lot nicer. So this is going to be the top, and then this is going to be the side. So now I'm ready for glue up. The important part of this whole build is making sure that the front board and the top board are perpendicular to each other. So take your time in this process. Table saw fence jig is starting to turn out pretty good. Just want to get extra support. Going to make 45s to put on the back of here, and I get to use my newly built cross-cut fence that has the ability to make miters. So if I put my combination square here and I bring this right down to my curve, I can lock it down and get a perfect 45. There, that looks pretty good. Let's make some 45s. Using these 45-degree blocks will ensure that the front board will stay perpendicular to the table. Here is the old trick of using a straw to clean out glue from the edges of two boards. Well, I can't believe I used this guy for so long, but it did serve its purpose for doing long boards. But I needed a fence that I can use on a daily basis. This to me is a little too short. I really like the way this guy came out. He's nice and tall, and got my square here, so he's perpendicular to the table, which I'm very happy with the way that turned out. I inserted a couple blocks at the bottom, so this way you can't move. You won't be able to slide back and forth in a little bit, but I didn't want him sliding with my work. Oh, just share a mistake. Like when I went to attach this board to the top board, I drew a line so I knew where the top of the board was, and I ended up putting screws right there instead of being above it. So I filled those in with wood putty. Not the same color, but at least it's filled in and nice and smooth again. I have more ideas to continue with more jigs. I want to do the L fence next. So this was a great addition. It was a great afternoon project. If you have any questions or comments and you want to leave them in the comment section down below, I'd be more than happy to answer it. I'm happy with the way this project turned out.